Hello and welcome. So I wanted to make this quick video and talk about the most significant breakthrough in meditation. This is kind of the earliest stages of meditation, and the coolest thing about this is that once you sort of get this, you don't have to be in formal meditation, you don't have to be sitting to be able to practice it. Now, what is it? So, in meditation, you're basically learning to observe. You're learning to observe things as they occur, and what this usually means is you're learning to observe your thoughts. You're learning to observe your mind. You're learning to observe your emotions to some extent. Basically, you're learning to observe life happening. And again, most of our life experience is actually our thinking mind and our emotions. It's more internal. It's our response. So when we're not meditating or we're not familiar with it, the tendency is that whatever we think, we follow. And there's an error in this, is that we think that the thoughts is who we are. Now this causes all sorts of problems, and this is what happens, and essentially you drive yourself kind of mad, because you'll notice by the nature of your thinkingness, it's very often random, it's very fast, it's usually out of our control, and it a lot of the time makes no sense. So if we were to keep identifying with thoughts, then we just end up following this sort of madness trail of activity. So when you meditate, what you learn is that there's an awareness that is observing thoughts. Like a metaphor is, there's a whiteboard, and the whiteboard is kind of the awareness, your awareness. On the whiteboard, things get drawn, pictures get drawn, images get drawn, thoughts get drawn, words get drawn. And basically this is just the content of the mind. So the content of the mind is thoughts, images, and things like this, and they get drawn on the screen of awareness. Now, the meditation is showing you, and the practice is that your awareness is the whiteboard. You are most likely the awareness which is observing the contents on the whiteboard. So this is the biggest, most significant breakthrough, is that you start moving away from thinking that your thought is who you are, and you're able to create a space between the one who is observing and the thought. So the thought is just a phenomena that's being observed on the space of your awareness. This is significant because once you realize that you're primarily sitting in a space of awareness, which is observing thoughts coming and going, observing various things coming and going, you now have the ability to choose what thoughts or what content to actually focus on. So if some image, some thought comes up onto the screen, you see it, but now that you're aware that you're observing this thought, you can choose whether to follow it or not. You have more capacity to do these things. Now some thoughts carry more energy and attention than others. So some thoughts you'll notice as you go through the meditation process is that some thoughts are just easy to let go. Whereas other thoughts, maybe it's a strong memory or a person with a strong emotional component to it, is that it'll be very easy to get sucked into that and you start following that. So, that comes in time, but the most significant breakthrough I'm trying to clarify here is that practicing observing life. Practice observing your experience, practice observing your mind without getting involved in it and without following it. One of the easiest things you can do, I call it the simplest meditation in the world, is that on your inhale breath, you can imagine collecting all the thoughts, all the experience that you're having right now. And on your exhale, you release it as if like a steam or a smoke releasing, clearing it from your mind, clearing it from your awareness. Again, breathe in, collect more thoughts. And as you exhale, you release the thoughts. You release the contents. So just a few moments of this will help induce kind of a relaxed state. A relaxed state could be said to be simply a state where you're not overwhelmed by content. And there's a spaciousness in you, and your awareness becomes more and more clear. Contents of mind becomes less powerful. And we're not trying to stop the mind, that's a misunderstanding. Mind will continue to produce stuff. That's what it does, that's what its nature is. So we're not trying to control or change the thoughts as such. We just step back and we're able to observe it from a distance, and then they just do whatever they do without you getting involved in them or following them. Sometimes people will say, I can't stop my mind from thinking a certain way. Part of, a question that could come up is, who is listening to that mind? Who is following the mind? Some part of your awareness is choosing to listen to that part and follow it. So, with a great understanding of the awareness and the space, you can choose to listen to it or not listen to it. This happens more and more and more as you practice this more and more and more. Now, to give you a little story before I finish, is I was once at a party. Many people I didn't know there. Anyway, I sat under a tree and there was a guy there on my left. And I just thought, talking small, chit chat. And I said, "Where's home?" And he looked at me and said, "Awareness is my home." And that was just such a powerful conversation of few words. But at that time, it just hit me so hard, is that we are always in awareness. Awareness is always available. And actually, that is our home. I don't think we can even leave it, even if we want to. So awareness is our natural place. So no matter where you go, no matter what you do, just keep coming back to awareness. And another quote is, become aware of your own awareness. So keep pointing your attention back to the space of just your ability to observe. This is awareness. Become aware of your own awareness. So simple, huh? So that's it. That's the basic breakthrough. And of course, if you haven't tried meditation before, I still recommend it, because it'll get you into this familiarity space where you're able to have distance between the observer, the awareness, and the contents of mind. This is an essential part of the process. Once you sort of make that breakthrough, and you continue this practice, you just get more and more space, and you have more and more power. Basically, the energy is not gone so easily, but you have more ability to choose what to follow. And with all that energy that you're not spending on following thoughts that are useless or not or not helpful, you have more power to then be able to, if a good thought or whatever comes up, you can fully focus on it and give it lots of power. So this is what I wanted to share with you. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll speak to you again soon.